Hey there, folks. Welcome to New York City, the city that never sleeps. This place is a whirlwind of energy, a symphony of human endeavor, and a melting pot of cultures. It's a city where dreams are made of, and ambitions take flight. Today, we're going to take a bite out of the Big Apple, exploring its iconic landmarks, hidden gems, and everything in between. From the bright lights of Broadway to the tranquil oasis of Central Park, New York City promises an unforgettable experience. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned New Yorker, there's always something new to discover in this concrete jungle. So, buckle up, grab your Metro card, and get ready for a wild ride as we dive headfirst into the heart of the Big Apple. We'll be your guides through the maze of streets, the subway's rhythmic rumble, and the aroma of street food that fills the air. Let's get this show on the road. New York City, also known as NYC, stands tall as a global powerhouse. It's a hub for finance, culture, art, fashion, and entertainment, attracting millions of visitors each year. Imagine Wall Street's bustling energy, where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. Picture the bright lights of Broadway, showcasing world-class performances that leave you breathless. Envision the fashionistas strutting their stuff during New York Fashion Week, setting trends that ripple across the globe. And let's not forget the countless museums, art galleries, and music venues that showcase the city's vibrant cultural tapestry. NYC is a city that thrives on ambition, creativity, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. It's a place where dreams are given wings and anything is possible. Over 8 million people call this concrete jungle home, making it the most populous city in the United States. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people who make up this vibrant mosaic. New York City is a melting pot of cultures, a place where people from all walks of life come together to create a symphony of human experience. You'll hear languages from every corner of the globe, savor culinary delights from distant lands, and witness traditions passed down through generations. This incredible diversity is what gives New York City its unique flavor, its infectious energy, and its unwavering spirit. It's a city that embraces individuality, celebrates differences, and reminds us that we're all part of something much larger than ourselves. From the iconic skyscrapers that pierce the heavens to the sprawling green expanse of Central Park, New York City is a feast for the senses. We'll wander through the cobblestone streets of Greenwich Village, soaking up the bohemian vibes and artistic energy. We'll marvel at the architectural wonders of the Brooklyn Bridge, a testament to human ingenuity. And let's not forget the culinary delights that await us, from street vendors serving up mouth-watering delicacies to Michelin-starred restaurants pushing the boundaries of gastronomy. Every corner we turn, every neighborhood we explore reveals a new layer of this intricate and endlessly fascinating city. In the next 30 minutes, we'll embark on a whirlwind tour of New York City's most iconic landmarks and hidden treasures. We'll delve into its rich history, explore its diverse neighborhoods, and uncover the secrets that make this city so captivating. So, sit back, relax, and let us be your guides as we unravel the magic of the Big Apple. Get ready to be amazed, inspired, and utterly enchanted by the city that never sleeps. All right, folks, before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's get our bearings straight. New York City ain't just one big concrete jungle, see? It's actually made up of 5 distinct boroughs, each with its own personality, flavor, and charm. You got Manhattan, the heart of it all, with its towering skyscrapers and dazzling lights. Then there's Brooklyn, the hipster haven with its trendy boutiques and artisanal coffee shops. Queens, the melting pot of cultures, bursts with flavors from around the world. And let's not forget the Bronx, the birthplace of hip-hop and home to Yankee Stadium. And lastly, we've got Staten Island, the often overlooked borough with its charming neighborhoods and stunning views of the harbor. Together, these 5 boroughs make up the greatest city on earth. Manhattan, the heart of the apple. Manhattan, the island that never sleeps, is the most densely populated of the 5 boroughs and arguably the most iconic. This is where you'll find those towering skyscrapers that define the New York City skyline, from the Empire State Building to One World Trade Center. But Manhattan ain't just about concrete and glass. It's also home to Central Park, a sprawling green oasis smack dab in the middle of all the hustle and bustle. You got Times Square with its dazzling lights and Broadway theaters, and Wall Street, the financial heart of the world. And let's not forget the charming neighborhoods like Greenwich Village, Soho, and the Lower East Side, each with its own unique character. Brooklyn, the new cool kid on the block. Just across the East River from Manhattan, you'll find Brooklyn, the borough that's been making headlines in recent years for its hipster vibes and trendy scene. Once known for its industrial roots, Brooklyn has transformed itself into a hub for artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs. From the trendy boutiques of Williamsburg to the leafy streets of Park Slope, Brooklyn offers a more laid-back alternative to Manhattan's frenetic energy. It's also home to Coney Island, the iconic boardwalk with its amusement park and Nathan's famous hot dogs. Queens, a tapestry of cultures. Queens, the largest of the 5 boroughs in terms of land area, is a true melting pot of cultures. With over 150 languages spoken, it's one of the most diverse places on the planet. Here, you'll find everything from Greek tavernas in Astoria to Indian restaurants in Jackson Heights. Flushing, home to one of the largest Chinatowns in the world, is a feast for the senses. Queens is also where you'll find JFK International Airport, the gateway to New York City for millions of visitors each year. And let's not forget the US Open Tennis Championships, held annually in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. A Dutch foothold, New Amsterdam's legacy. Now let's rewind the clock a bit, folks, and take a trip back in time. Before the bright lights of Broadway and the towering skyscrapers, New York City was just a twinkle in the eye of some adventurous Dutch settlers. Back in the 17th century, those intrepid explorers sailed across the Atlantic and landed on this very island, establishing a trading post they called New Amsterdam. You see that wall down there on Wall Street? That's a reminder of those early days. They were tough folks, those Dutch traders, but they knew a good thing when they saw it. They set up shop here at the mouth of the Hudson River, a prime location for trade and commerce. Little did they know that their humble outpost would one day become the most important city in the world. But hey, that's New York for you, always full of surprises. From colony to revolution, a city forged in liberty. But the Dutch weren't the only ones with their eye on this prime piece of real estate. In 1664, the English decided they wanted a piece of the action, and they weren't afraid to fight for it. They sailed into the harbor, took one look at New Amsterdam and said, "We'll take it." And just like that, New Amsterdam became New York, named after the Duke of York. But hey, a change of name didn't change the city's destiny. It was still a place where people came to chase their dreams and build a better life. Now, fast forward a century or so, and you've got the American Revolution brewing. New York City played a pivotal role in that fight for independence, hosting the Continental Congress and serving as the first capital of the newly formed United States. The gateway to America, Ellis Island, and the immigrant experience. As the 19th century rolled into the 20th, New York City became known as the Golden Door to America. Millions of immigrants, fleeing poverty and persecution in their homelands, poured into the city through Ellis Island, that little island just off the tip of Manhattan. Can you imagine the hopes and dreams those immigrants carried with them as they stepped ashore? They came from all over the world: Italy, Ireland, Russia, Poland, you name it, all seeking a better life in the land of opportunity. They crammed into tenements, worked tirelessly in factories, and slowly but surely built a new life for themselves and their families. Their stories are the stories of New York City, a testament to the human spirit's resilience and determination. A century of growth, from industrial powerhouse to global icon. The 20th century was a time of incredible transformation for New York City. It became a global center of industry, finance, and culture. The city's skyline reached for the heavens as skyscrapers like the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building shot up, symbols of American ambition and ingenuity. The roar of the subway filled the air as the city's transportation network expanded, connecting its far-flung boroughs and allowing people to move about with ease. And let's not forget the cultural explosion that took place, from the jazz clubs of Harlem to the theaters of Broadway. New York City became the epicenter of the art world, a magnet for creative minds from around the globe. It was a time of unprecedented growth and prosperity, a golden age for the city that never sleeps. "9/11 and beyond, resilience in the face of tragedy. But even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, New York City has always found a way to rise again, stronger than ever. The city that never sleeps faced its darkest hour on September 11, 2001, when terrorists attacked the World Trade Center, leaving a gaping hole in the skyline and a nation in mourning. The world watched in horror as the Twin Towers collapsed, taking with them thousands of innocent lives. It was a day that will forever be etched in the city's memory, a day that tested its spirit like never before. Yet even in the face of such profound loss, New Yorkers showed their true grit and determination. They came together, supported one another, and rebuilt their city, brick by brick, dream by dream. New York City, the financial capital of the world. Now let's talk about the dough, folks. New York City ain't just a pretty face, you know? This place is an economic powerhouse, a global hub where billions, no trillions of dollars change hands every single day. We're talking Wall Street, baby. The heart of the financial world, where stocks are traded, deals are made, and fortunes are won and lost with the tap of a button. It's a high-stakes game, folks, not for the faint of heart. But New York's economy ain't just about stocks and bonds. This city's got its fingers in every pie imaginable, from media and entertainment to technology and fashion. We're talking a global center of commerce, innovation, and creativity. So, next time you're marveling at the Empire State Building or strolling through Central Park, remember this. Behind all the glitz and glamour, there's a whole lot of hard work and hustle going on, making this city the economic powerhouse it is. Wall Street, where fortunes are made and lost. Wall Street, folks, it's more than just a street. It's a symbol, a legend, where dreams are made and broken. Home of the New York Stock Exchange, the largest in the world. Millions of shares traded every minute, fortunes rising and falling. It's enough to make your head spin, folks. But Wall Street isn't just about trading. It's home to the biggest financial institutions, banks, investment firms, hedge funds. These are the movers and shakers. Wall Street impacts the world. When the stock market sneezes, the world catches a cold. That's how important this place is, folks. Now don't get me wrong, Wall Street is a big deal, but it ain't the whole story. New York City's economy is more diverse than a 5-borough pizza, with a whole lot of toppings to keep things interesting. Let's start with media and entertainment. This is the home of Broadway Hollywood on the Hudson, where the bright lights shine on talented performers from all over the world. And let's not forget the publishing houses, television studios, and music labels that call New York home. Then there's technology, the industry of the future. Silicon Alley, they call it, a hub for startups and tech giants alike. From software developers to digital marketers, these folks are shaping the way we live, work, and play. And hey, gotta give a shout out to tourism. Millions of visitors flock to the Big Apple every year, eager to experience its iconic landmarks, cultural attractions, and world-class dining. They're pumping billions into the city's economy, supporting jobs and businesses big and small. Listen, New York City's economy might be a well-oiled machine, but it ain't without its challenges. The cost of living here? Forget about it. Rent's sky high, competition for jobs is fierce, and let's not even get started on the price of a decent bagel and schmear. Income inequality, it's a real issue here, folks. You got the super rich living in their ivory towers while working families struggle to make ends meet. It's a tale of two cities, and it's a challenge that needs to be addressed. But hey, this is New York City, a place where people never give up, never back down from a challenge. There's a lot of work to be done, sure. But with its spirit of innovation, its diverse workforce, and its unwavering determination, this city's got what it takes to overcome any obstacle. And that, folks, is the beauty of New York City's economy. It's a constantly evolving, always hustling, never-say-die machine that reflects the spirit of the city itself. All right, folks, let's kick things off with the Grand Dame herself, Lady Liberty. She's the symbol of freedom, democracy, and all things America. And let me tell you, seeing her up close and personal is an experience you won't soon forget. You hop on a ferry over to Liberty Island, and there she is in all her glory, that copper-green goddess holding her torch high above the harbor. It's enough to give you goosebumps, folks, I'm telling you. You can climb all the way up to her crown if you're feeling ambitious, and get a bird's-eye view of the city. But even from down below, she's an awe-inspiring sight, a reminder of the ideals this country was built on. So when you come to New York City, make sure you pay your respects to Lady Liberty. She's a symbol of hope, not just for Americans, but for people all over the world. Now let's talk about another New York City icon, the granddaddy of them all, the Empire State Building. This Art Deco masterpiece has been gracing the city's skyline since 1931. Standing at 1,454 feet tall, it was once the tallest building in the world. You can spot it from miles around, a beacon in the concrete jungle. The best part? You can go all the way up to the top for a view that'll knock your socks off. Panoramic views of the city that never sleeps, from Central Park to the Statue of Liberty. On a clear day, you can see for miles. For the ultimate New York City experience, head to the top of the Empire State Building. All right, folks, let's take a break from all the hustle and bustle and head on over to Central Park, New York City's backyard, a green oasis in the heart of the concrete jungle. This place is a marvel, folks, a testament to the power of urban planning and a reminder that even in the busiest city in the world, there's still room for a little peace and quiet. We're talking 843 acres of rolling hills, lush meadows, sparkling lakes, and winding paths. It's a place where you can escape the city's noise and just breathe. You can go for a jog, have a picnic, rent a rowboat, or just find a bench and soak up the sun. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a free concert or performance. Now, let's talk about entertainment, folks, the kind that'll make your heart sing and your feet tap. We're talking Broadway, baby, the Great White Way, where dreams are made and the show must go on. From classic musicals like Phantom of the Opera in Chicago to cutting-edge plays and star-studded revivals, there's something for everyone on Broadway. The talent on display here is simply astounding, folks. And let's not forget the history of this place. Broadway has been entertaining audiences for over a century, and its theaters are steeped in legend. So when you step into a Broadway theater, you're not just seeing a show, you're experiencing a piece of New York City history. Times Square, the crossroads of the world. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the sensory overload that is Times Square. This place is like a giant pinball machine, with lights flashing, music blaring, and people from all over the world colliding in a cacophony of energy. It's the crossroads of the world, they call it, and for good reason. You got billboards the size of buildings, street performers vying for your attention, and that electric energy that's uniquely New York. Now, some folks might find Times Square a bit overwhelming, but hey, that's part of the charm. It's a place where you can let loose, embrace the chaos, and just soak up the spectacle. And let's not forget the iconic New Year's Eve ball drop, where millions gather to watch the ball descend and ring in the new year. It's a party for the ages, folks, and a New York City tradition. Museums galore, treasures of art, history, and culture. New York City is home to some of the finest museums in the world. The Met, MoMA, and the American Museum of Natural History. World-class collections of art, history, and culture. The Met has over 2 million works of art. MoMA features Picasso, Van Gogh, Warhol. The American Museum of Natural History has dinosaur skeletons and a planetarium. A feast for the senses, folks. Navigating the concrete jungle. All right, folks, let's talk about getting around this concrete jungle. Navigating New York City ain't for the faint of heart. We're here to break it down for you. Forget about that car of yours. Parking is a nightmare. Get around on foot by subway or in a yellow cab. Walking is great for downtown. For uptown, take the subway. It's the lifeblood of the city. Taxis are iconic and everywhere. They'll take you anywhere for a price. Now, let's talk about the subway, folks, that underground labyrinth that keeps this city moving 24/7. It might seem daunting at first with all those lines and stations, but trust me, it's easier than it looks. First things first, you're gonna need a Metro card. You can buy one at any subway station and load it up with however much fare you think you'll need. Then just swipe your card at the turnstile and you're good to go. Now, the subway map can look like a bowl of spaghetti, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. Just find the line you need, the direction you're headed, and hop on the next train. Easy peasy. Now, the subway ain't always pretty, folks. It can be crowded, noisy, and let's just say a bit fragrant at times. But hey, that's part of the experience, right? It's a melting pot down there, just like the city itself. So, you've mastered the subway, huh? Congratulations, you're one step closer to becoming a true New Yorker. But let's not forget about the other transportation options this city has to offer. Taxis, ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft, and the Staten Island Ferry. The ferry offers stunning views of the Statue of Liberty and the Manhattan skyline. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. All right, folks, let's talk about what makes this city truly special. Its heart and soul, its energy, and its edge. We're talking about the culture, baby. New York City is a melting pot, a kaleidoscope of cultures, where traditions from all over the world collide and create something new and exciting. It's a place where artists, musicians, writers, and dreamers come to make their mark, to be inspired by the city's energy and to add their own unique voices to the mix. You can feel it in the air, folks, this creative energy, this constant hum of activity. It's in the street art that adorns the walls, in the music that spills out of clubs and bars, in the theater productions that push the boundaries of storytelling. And let's not forget about the people themselves, the characters you meet on the street, each with their own story to tell, their own dreams to chase. They're what make this city so vibrant, so alive, so damn exciting. From street art to symphony, a feast for the senses. Now let's get specific, folks. Where do you even begin to experience the cultural tapestry of New York City? Well, let me tell you, it's everywhere you look, everywhere you go. You got world-renowned museums like the Met, MoMA, and the Guggenheim showcasing masterpieces from across the globe. Then there's Broadway, the heart of American theater, where you can catch a dazzling musical or a thought-provoking play. But it's not just about the big names, folks. New York City is also home to countless smaller art galleries, music venues, and performance spaces, where you can discover up-and-coming artists and experience the city's cutting-edge cultural scene. And let's not forget about the streets themselves, which are like an open-air museum. From the street art murals in Bushwick to the buskers in Central Park, there's always something to catch your eye, something to make you stop and stare. A culinary adventure, from bagels to Michelin stars. All right, folks, let's talk about food. Because in New York City, eating is more than just a necessity. It's an experience, an adventure, a celebration of flavors from all over the world. You got your classic New York City eats, of course. I'm talking about those big, chewy bagels with a smear of cream cheese, those juicy hot dogs from street vendors, and that thin crust pizza that'll have you folding it in half like a true New Yorker. But let's not forget about the incredible diversity of cuisine this city has to offer. You can find just about anything your heart desires here. From authentic Italian trattorias to spicy Sichuan restaurants to trendy vegan cafes. And hey, if you're feeling fancy, you can always splurge on a Michelin-starred dining experience. New York City is home to some of the finest restaurants in the world, with chefs pushing the boundaries of culinary creativity. Festivals and events a year-round celebration. Now let's talk about parties, folks, because New York City knows how to throw a party. We're talking festivals, parades, celebrations of all kinds all year round. You got your big ticket events, of course. There's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, a spectacle of giant balloons and marching bands that's become a beloved tradition. Then there's the ball drop in Times Square on New Year's Eve, where millions gather to ring in the new year. But New York City is also a city of smaller, more intimate festivals, celebrating everything from food and music to art and culture. There's the Tribeca Film Festival, the US Open Tennis Championships, the NYC Pride March, and countless others. And hey, you never know what you might stumble upon just walking down the street. Could be a street fair, a block party, a spontaneous performance. That's the beauty of this city, folks. There's always something going on, always something to celebrate. Now let's get real for a minute, folks. New York City ain't all sunshine and rainbows. This concrete jungle faces real challenges, growing pains of being densely populated. Crowds, traffic, and high costs make life here a challenge. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the issue that keeps a lot of New Yorkers up at night, the housing squeeze. Finding an affordable place to live in this town is like trying to find a needle in a haystack, especially if you're not swimming in dough. You see those shiny new high-rises popping up all over the place? Yeah, those ain't for the average Joe. We're talking million-dollar condos, folks, out of reach for most working-class New Yorkers. And then there's the competition. Trying to find an apartment in this city is like playing a game of musical chairs, except there are way more players than chairs. You gotta be quick, you gotta be aggressive, and you gotta be willing to compromise. It's a tough situation, folks, and it's one of the biggest challenges facing our city today. We need more affordable housing options, plain and simple, so that everyone who wants to live in this city of dreams can actually afford to do so. Bridging the gap, inequality, and the city of opportunity. Now let's get real about another issue that plagues our city: inequality. New York City, for all its diversity and opportunity, also has a dark underbelly, a stark contrast between the haves and the have-nots. You got your Wall Street tycoons, your tech moguls, your celebrities living the high life in their penthouse suites. And then you got folks struggling to make ends meet, working multiple jobs, just trying to keep a roof over their heads. The gap between the rich and the poor is widening, folks, and it's a problem. We need to find ways to create more economic opportunities for all New Yorkers, to make sure that everyone has a shot at the American dream. There are programs in place, of course, organizations working tirelessly to combat poverty and homelessness. But we need to do more, folks. We need to bridge this gap, to create a city that works for everyone, not just the privileged few. A city that never gives up. So there you have it, folks. We've explored the highs and lows, the glitz and grit, the heart and soul of New York City. It's a city of contradictions, no doubt, a place of both immense wealth and heartbreaking poverty, of towering skyscrapers and sprawling parks, of bustling streets and quiet moments of contemplation. But through it all, one thing remains constant: the spirit of New York City, that indomitable, never-say-die attitude that's been forged over centuries of triumph and tragedy. This is a city that's been knocked down, but never out. A city that's always evolving, always reinventing itself, always reaching for the sky. Remember those challenges we talked about? The housing squeeze, the inequality, the daily grind that can wear you down? Well, New Yorkers are a resilient bunch. They're fighters, they're hustlers, they're dreamers who never give up on themselves or their city. The Big Apple's enduring allure. So what is it about New York City that continues to captivate the world? Why do millions flock here every year, eager to experience its unique energy, its cultural tapestry, its endless possibilities? Maybe it's the allure of the unknown, the feeling that anything can happen on these crowded streets. Maybe it's the energy of the people, that infectious can-do spirit that's contagious. Or maybe it's simply the magic of the place, the way the city lights twinkle at night, the way the smell of street food fills the air, the way a million different stories unfold on every block. Whatever it is, New York City gets under your skin, folks. It stays with you long after you've left, a whisper in the back of your mind, a longing in your heart. See you soon, New York City. Well, folks, our 30-minute journey through the Big Apple has come to an end. We've walked the streets, ridden the subway, marveled at the landmarks, and savored the flavors of this incredible city. But this is just a taste, a glimpse into the heart of New York City. To truly experience it, you have to come see it for yourself. You have to get lost in its streets, strike up a conversation with a stranger, and let the city work its magic on you. So what are you waiting for? Book that trip, pack your bags, and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. New York City is waiting for you, with open arms and a whole lot of heart. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll see you there. Until then, keep dreaming big, folks, and never lose your sense of adventure.